Well, I am delighted. I've got 2 comments. Not only do I have 2 comments, which means I get the job interview, but actually the 2 comments suggest that the job is actually mine, because one of them says nothing at all except they want me to come to the interview. And the second one is asking me, what is my first podcast going to be about? And nothing else. That's all I have. That is my job interview. That's it. I just have to say what my first podcast is going to be about. And then I presume they'll want me to just go ahead and do it. So that's kind of the plan. That's good, because I find job interviews really, really stressful. I worry about getting there. Now, I know that's not an issue with this one, but like executive function and me is just a bad mix. Getting myself organised enough to go somewhere dressed in the right clothes at the right time on the right day, stressful. That's a week of stressing that I might forget about it, or forget to get something, or not have any shoes, you know. Then there's all the unknowns of a job interview and how that works. The social stuff, shaking hands, sitting down, sitting on my hands, not waving them around while I'm talking. Picking up on the interviewer's little clues as to how I'm doing, nodding, smiling. I don't know what they mean. And then the questions. The questions are really the problem. I just ramble. I don't think you're supposed to answer the questions. I've worked out that you're not supposed to answer the questions. You are supposed to come with a package of what you're trying to sell to them. Like, you're supposed to work out, what are they looking for, and how am I going to convince them that I am that? That's what you're supposed to do in a job interview. And any preparation online you find is how to answer the questions, but that's not what you're trying to do. You're supposed to, they want somebody who's a team player. That's the most important thing to them. You're a team player. And you're a problem solver, maybe, something like that. Well, then every time they ask you a question, you have to prove that you're a team player and a problem solver. And they will be really impressed with you. They'll be like, wow, this guy really fits in with what we're looking for. So that's what you need to do. So when they ask you something like, tell us a bit about yourself, you don't tell them the day you were born, what the weather was like, and what your mother was wearing. You leave that out, because they definitely don't want that information. You tell them that you play team sports as a hobby. You tell them that you do voluntary work that's in a group, and that you really enjoy working with other people in the community. And then on the other one, the problem solver, you tell them that you really like doing puzzles and figuring things out, and you've always really enjoyed maths and engineering kind of things. And while they're not always directly related to your job, you just love figuring things out. Those are your 2 hobbies now. That was 3 hobbies, I think. But you tweak your life and you tweak your story so that it matches in with what they're looking for. But in order to do this, you need to know what they're looking for, and you need to know which parts of your life you can twist around a little bit to be the story that you're telling, and leave the rest out. I don't do that. I ramble. So I'm going to try not to ramble on my podcast. It's going to be very, very challenging. I think that's actually going to be the challenge. I tend to ramble. So my only question then is, what will the first episode be about? I actually haven't decided. I was going to approach things as they crop up. Is this a very unorganized plan? I wasn't very organized about this. I have a bit of a project on the go at the moment. I am trying to get my act together. So this would be very much 45-year-old autistic woman, how do you cope kind of a podcast. So I don't. There's a few of those out there. That's one I could do. Where I am at the moment on that pathway. I've had a very weird sunscreen incident this week that I could tell you all about, but I feel pretty stupid. Kids and family dynamics is another thing I was going to talk about, but nothing has cropped up this week. The kids are being very smooth this week. There isn't a lot going on. We're on holidays. I'm very interested at the moment in positive psychology, which I intend talking about quite a bit, because I learn by processing and talking about things, and I am really interested in that at the moment, and it really helps me to kind of put my thoughts together well on something. So I will share what I'm learning about positive psychology. It's relevant to autism, I think, and it's not being connected as well as it should be, I don't think. And then, of course, once I go back to school, I will be teaching, and there will probably be autistic kids in my class. There'll probably be autism around the school, everywhere. It will be delightful, and I will have some insights into how schools manage autism and autistic people, and what can be done and what can't be done, and what might work, and perspectives on that. So that's always interesting. So yeah, one of those things. I might start with the sunscreen. I might start with the sunscreen, but you might not like the story. It's terrible. It's a terrible story. Okay, that answers all the questions. So do I just presume I've gotten the job and get on with my life, and do a podcast about one of these things at some point? I haven't even said when. I haven't even got a schedule. Yeah, I don't really have the technical know how to do an awful lot. Yeah, I'll have to see what crops up and go from there. I think that's what I'll do. And yeah, let's start with sunscreen. Maybe I could do that straight away. I could do that right now. And there we go. I can start today. Would you like me to start today? I can start today. Would that be good? Just give me like a thumbs up on it. Like, one person wants me to start today. I would start today. I am so ready. Okay. Bye.